Hi students, today I am going to teach you the next topic, that is Victorian novel. And as we have already completed the Victorian age in all its diversities, the today's session will talk about the next, that is the Victorian novel. And this area, this genre, that is the Victorian novel, is actually considered as a many-sided affair which deals with various themes, and it differs in themes and style from various authors, from authors to authors. And some of the common characteristics of all the Victorian novelists, at least some of them we can discuss, is they have a moral purpose, they have a deep concern with the social atmosphere of the age, and even they are known for certain weaknesses for moralizing. Fine. As far as tendencies are concerned, the Victorian novel, or we can say the novelists, they have been continuing the tradition of the historical novel which was established by Walter Scott. Some deal with the contemporary life, as was done by Jane Austen, but few novelists have continued themselves to either of these approaches. And some novelists write tragically of their life, some write to reform others. But why? Only to amuse, only for some entertainment. And the novelist which I want to tell you here in this era, first of all, is Benjamin Disraeli. Who was Benjamin Disraeli? He was the Prime Minister of England. And in spite of various political and social preoccupations, he could get some time to write some brilliant and some witty novels. And some of his important novels are, if you remember, students, Vivian Grey. Any of you might be knowing some more novels, as I still remember The Two Nations and Tancred. Tancred, maybe some of the few more. And Benjamin Disraeli is known for his political novels, which are written in satirical vein, and they also deal with a lot of, intrigues of the politics. So for this, Benjamin Disraeli has been very famous. The next author of the Victorian era is Bulwer Lytton. Bulwer Lytton, he was a novelist who has written many kinds of novels. In spite that he was a minor novelist and a novelist of the second rank, but he is a versatile genius. Apart from being a...
Hi. So when I came first to this class, I wasn't sure about it because I had traveled so much far away from my home and I was a bit nervous. But just after getting into classes and 1 week later, I found it that coming to OSN Academy was worth it. And the confidence that Dr. Agarwal has inculcated in me is tremendous, and my love for literature has just grown. So I'm very grateful to Dr. Anurag Agarwal for believing in me and making me where I am today.
Versatile genius, he lacked depth, he lacked profundity, बीइंग अ ग्रेट नॉवेलिस्ट, मतलब जो चीजें बड़े नॉवेलिस्ट में होती है वो चीजें इसके अंदर नहीं थी, यद्यपि कि ही वॉज अ जीनियस एंड हिज जीनियस वॉज समहाउ और द अदर imitative, and modern readers have found his novels somehow ponderous, and some of the novels which are known that he has written, The Last of the Barons, एक नॉवेल थी हैरल्ड, फिर एक नॉवेल थी द कमिंग रेस, एंड द कैक्सटन्स विच आई रिमेंबर जस्ट नाउ। एक नाम, एक नॉवेल जो बल्वर लिटिन के नाम से जानी जाती है, जैसे कुछ नॉवेल्स होती हैं किसी नाम के साथ जुड़ जाती हैं, उसका नाम है द लास्ट डेज ऑफ पॉम्पी। इसको याद कर लीजिएगा। एंड दिस नॉवेल इज एक्चुअली अ हिस्टोरिकल नॉवेल। फाइन, इन दिस विक्टोरियन नॉवेल एरा, the greatest is undoubtedly the Charles Dickens, which we have already read somewhere, and some of the important novels of Charles Dickens, to name a few. Charles Dickens, you must all be knowing. Oliver Twist, David Copperfield, Great Expectations, Nicholas Nickleby, The Pickwick Papers, so many novels he has written. A Tale of Two Cities, Martin Chuzzlewit, Bleak House, Our Mutual Friend, and sometimes some professors, some English historians take Hard Times also as a masterpiece. So these are the variety of the novels written by Charles Dickens, and he was a great novelist. इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है। As far as the plot is concerned, the plot is usually the weakest point of Charles Dickens. Somebody has described that his novels are shapeless bags in which all manners of different objects of various shapes and sizes have been crammed into it. And they contain something for everybody. मतलब आपको सभी सेक्शंस ऑफ सोसाइटी में लोग होते हैं, सबके लिए कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ वैरायटी मिल जाएगी. They contain something for everybody. And Dickens is, after all, not a very great artist, and the plots of his novels are invariably weak. But the consolation जो हमें मिलता है, वो सच्चाई ये है, वो lies in the fact that he may not construct the story well. He may not be in a position to make the construction well, but how he is telling that story, we admire it. It is what the people, the followers admire about Charles Dickens. Fine. Now, students, there is one name that is विलियम थैकरे. इसका नाम तो आपने सुना ही होगा. one of the major novelists of the Victorian age. William Makepeace Thackeray. He's not known as a very prolific writer if compared to, Dickens, but his important novels are Vanity Fair, Pendennis, The Newcomes, Virginians, Henry Esmond. मैं लिख भी देता हूं. Vanity Fair, Pendennis, Virginians, The Newcomes, Henry Esmond, and so on. So, इसमें वैनिटी फेयर जो है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. It is one of the best known novels of Thackeray, and this novel deals with the corruption in the upper middle class story, or the upper middle class of the Victorian age. And this story of Vanity Fair, it centers around the character of Becky Sharp, who seems to be a Victorian prototype of Nana, made after leading a very fashionable life. And in this novel, Vanity Fair students, we come across a set of people living without God in the world, who are greedy, who are pompous, who are men perfectly well satisfied for the most part, and at least about their superior nature. So, थैकरे भी आपको पढ़ना है और उसके नॉवेल्स को भी, स्टोरी लाइन भी पढ़ना है. And in this way, you should complete the entirety in chronology. Now, the next author which is to be read here is Charles Kingsley. Now, this author, this novelist Charles Kingsley, इनको आप 3 ग्रुप में बच्चों डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. He can be divided, or his novels can be divided into 3 groups. पहला कह सकते हैं द प्रॉब्लम नॉवेल्स, इसको हम सोशल स्टडीज भी कह सकते हैं. दूसरा कह सकते हैं द हिस्टोरिकल नॉवेल्स, और तीसरा जो आएगा दैट इज मिसलेनियस वर्क्स में आएगा. अगर हम पहले ग्रुप की बात करें जिसमें लिखा है मैंने द प्रॉब्लम नॉवेल्स, इसमें एक नॉवेल आएगी जिसका नाम है एल्टन लॉक. और एक आएगा जिसका नाम है नॉवेल का ईस्ट. सो दिस कम्स अंडर दिस द प्रॉब्लम नॉवेल्स. सेकेंड में आएगा वेस्टवर्ड हो. एंड थर्ड में आएगा वाटर बेबीज. ये सब बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट नाम है. So you must note down these things. And as far as a novelist is concerned, he has been known as a genuine novelist with a genuine imagination. His novels have a real historical importance, who is also enjoyed by the young students and the graduate students. And in treatment of his novels, he is a very forward storyteller. but his characters, they lack the delicacy of finish. Fine. इसके बाद एक नाम आता है, बड़ा नाम है, मिसेस गैस्किल. Mrs. Gaskell, or we can say the novels of Mrs. Gaskell, can be divided again into two groups. एक ग्रुप वो है which deals with the industrial and the social life. Industrial and social life of the Victorian age. And Mrs. Gaskell did not possess the clearness of the vision, and apart from it, or yet we can say she is one of the important forerunners of the psychological novels. And the novels of Mrs. Gaskell combine something of delicate humor with moralistic intention. Moralism. Sometimes her plots are also weak. And if I talk about her important novels, एक नॉवेल है रूथ, इसकी ये वाली बड़ी फेमस है, मैरी बार्टन. फिर एक है नॉर्थ एंड साउथ, और एक है वाइव्स एंड डॉटर. Fine. Then we have Charles Reed. चार्ल्स रीड एक ऐसा नॉवेलिस्ट था जिसको ये विश्वास था, या वो उस पर विश्वास करता था कि जो फिक्शन है या जो नॉवेल है, it should be written not only to please, but it should also contain some instruction, and something there should be for edification. Edification का मतलब होता है moral उत्थान. And in this way, he followed Charles Dickens also. As I have told you that Charles Reed also wrote most of his novels with a serious moral purpose behind it. So, if I talk about Charles Reed, his best known novel is Cloister and the Hearth. एंड द हर्थ. सो ये कभी टाइम मिले तो इसका डिटेल भी आप पढ़ सकते हैं. इट इज अ गुड नॉवेल. एंड आफ्टर दिस देयर इज अ नेम विल्की कॉलिंस. विल्की कॉलिंस को ऐसे हम समझा सकते हैं आपको दैट ही सीम्स टू बी अ मिक्सचर ऑफ चार्ल्स डिकेंस एंड इसका मिक्सचर था. And Wilkie Collins is known as a forerunner of which type of novel? Detective novels. which was popularized by Arthur Conan Doyle. Arthur Conan Doyle. And Wilkie Collins is also a very skillful storyteller. And there are many followers and many lovers of the novels written by Wilkie Collins. Now, there is also a name known as Anthony Trollope. Anthony Trollope as a person is known for a very minute observation of life. He used to observe very minutely, and the fame of this person, Anthony Trollope, is based on Barchester Towers, which is remarkably known for its minute pictures of bishops, clergymen, and with their families, with their dependents. He is not actually very much concerned about the plot. And one great limitation of Trollope as a novelist is that he never deals with the profounder passions. Fine. Then we have Charlotte Bronte, जिसको कि आप जानते होंगे ब्रॉन्टे सिस्टर्स के नाम पे. Charlotte Bronte, a big name in the Victorian era, and the novels of Charlotte Bronte have been known remarkably good for their portrayal, for their depiction of the inner life, because she is known as a novelist of passion. She is known as a novelist of intense life, and she does not actually know about the art of construction, and that is why the art of, or we can say the range of Charlotte Bronte is limited. But in that limited sphere, she has done miracles. Yes. And these Bronte sisters, they were collectively called as Bronte sisters. These were the sisters who introduced the theme of passionate love in their novels, and because of which even today people and the scholars, they love to read Bronte sisters' novels. And the novels, all from the pen of Bronte sisters, have been very famous in the English world, throughout the world. Now, there is a novelist known as जॉर्ज मेरेडिथ. बहुत सारी नॉवेल्स उन्होंने लिखी है, जैसे द शेविंग ऑफ शाकपत, ऑर्डियल ऑफ रिचर्ड फेवरेल, द egoist, and the Dinah of the Crossways. Now, after George Meredith, we have a great novelist, George Eliot, who is known for very famous great novels like Adam Bede. You must have studied in your graduation maybe The Mill on the Floss, a very great novel. Silas Marner. How can we forget Middlemarch and Romola? कभी भी टाइम मिलेगा तो इन नॉवेल्स की समरी और कैरेक्टर्स को जरूर पढ़िएगा, क्योंकि बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस उसमें से आ जाते हैं. आफ्टर दिस, अ ग्रेट नेम, हाउ कैन वी फॉरगेट? थॉमस हार्डी. Thomas Hardy. We all know that he has been a great poet and a great novelist. As a novelist, he has written great novels of epical stature, like सब जानते ही होंगे आप, Under the Greenwood Tree, Far from the Madding Crowd, The Return of the Native, The Mayor of Casterbridge, and many more, like how can we forget? Yes, Tess of the Dubervilles, A Pair of Blue Eyes, Desperate Remedies, and some others too. These are the major novels, and whenever you get time, you always read these novels, maybe in a summary or the plot or the characters. The most important in the international English literature world, there is no one who can forget the theme of Tess, a pure woman. And this novel, the Tess, deals with a pure woman, accidentally leads into the endless patterns, ups and downs, and vicissitudes of disaster. And in order to help her parents, she seeks the help of the Dubervilles family. And you know what happened? There her honor is violated by Alec. She runs away from the Dubervilles and gets a job at some dairy. वहां पे उसकी मुलाकात टेस की होती है एंजल क्लेयर से. There he meets Mr. Angel Clare, who falls in love with her. And because she was an honest woman, and as she's a writer, a letter to her fiancé about the previous incident at the Dubervilles. And you know what happened, जैसा फिल्मों में भी दिखाते हैं, that this letter unfortunately is not read by Claire till the wedding has taken place. And Angel Clare sets out for Brazil, and Tess is hounded from place to place by Alec. And the novel ends with perhaps one of the most known sentences of Thomas Hardy. Justice was done. Justice was done. And the president of the immortals has ended his sport with Tess. Tess pays her debt to the social code. She's hanged. In this way, in short, you must read the summary of Under the Greenwood Tree, Far from the Madding Crowd, The Return of the Native, The Mayor of Casterbridge. And yes, one novelist immediately clicked to my mind, which I was forgetting, and that is Jude of Obscure. Jude the Obscure. So ये भी जरूर पढ़िएगा. So, as a novelist, typical of modern times, Thomas Hardy used to love the complexities of things, the clash of motives, and the encounter of temperaments. And these all restlessness and complexities which we find in the modern world makes this novelist a modern novelist indeed. So today we have finished the Victorian age. The next topic in the next turn would be the modern age. I hope you will study, revise, and come back prepared for the modern age. Thank you.